Why don't we talk a little bit about some nightmare stories? I mean, I'm sure you can share some nightmare stories, or maybe knight in shining armor stories where you had the opportunity to save one of your clients from making a mistake, a costly mistake, because of the pre-buy.
Yeah, and let me segue. So I'm gonna the kind of maybe one of the largest nightmare stories slash save the day stories really came into a heavy maintenance inspection. So let me briefly describe
Yeah, let's get all three for
yeah,
sure.
they
Let's
briefly
go.
describe what that's all about. What we're seeing from a lot of our clients is they have current clients that own aircraft that they sold to the client, and they're getting ready to go under a heavy maintenance inspection. It's well documented right now, the bandwidth issues with MROs and service centers. They're overwhelmed. Again, great people, great DOMs doing great work. They're overwhelmed. And so we're getting a lot of clients saying, hey, can you go on site and just make sure that my client's 120-month inspection is going well? Make sure that, hey, really X, Y, and Z are the main focus for my client because they, are going to utilize the aircraft for this purpose, whatever the case is. So we go on site and we're just there to facilitate, coordinate, and provide that level of comfort to the client that things are going well. And again, I'll say this not in a negative way, and make sure the aircraft's not tucked away in the back of a hangar, somewhat being ignored. And it's not a indictment on a service center because they are all trying to do the best they can. Well, anyways, we have a client that said, hey, can you go take a look at this aircraft that was based in the U.S.? We got told the location. We went to the location. That aircraft was not there. The client was unaware the aircraft was moved and was at a different location. So we became almost like a repo company, right? We had to find the aircraft. Yeah. So we were able to locate the aircraft through our network, literally calling and saying, hey, can you guys tell us if you might see this aircraft somewhere? So we were able to do that. And what we had found was the aircraft was in a single private hangar. It wasn't at a service center. And there was just one individual working on the aircraft without the proper gear. This client was spending a lot of money for that inspection. We did several video calls with the client who was actually not based in the U.S., describing what was going on, what our recommendation was. Bottom line is, and it did cost the client a little more, because he was eventually looking to sell the aircraft within 6 months, we got it to a more reputable service center that we knew folks. We were able to coordinate with that service center to bump it to a higher priority based on what's already occurred to that client. And that way now he runs the course of, and we kept in contact and coordinated the inspection, but now he finishes the inspection. The aircraft is properly documented, the heavy maintenance inspection it went through. So now when they go to sell the aircraft, all that has been done well. It's been done by a reputable service center because otherwise anything that was done there during that heavy maintenance inspection would have been ignored by a potential buyer. It would literally have to have just repeated the entire inspection. So
wow.
I would say that is one of our nightmare stories. Not really associated with the pre-buy, but kind of is. The other things, and this is talking in general that we're seeing a lot, is out of Asia, it's a seller's market. And, buyers are buying aircraft out of Asia. Some are great aircraft. Some have been left outside. The amount of corrosion, pitting, leading edges. And what we've seen is, again, this isn't indicative of all aircraft, but what we've seen on a couple is they're polishing the leading edge surfaces to a degree where the material thickness is affected. And again, if you're a buyer that purchased that aircraft without having, again, someone like crew chiefs or another, very experienced technical representative, you're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars after ownership to replace all those leading edges. So it's essentially, I hate to say it in this term, they're putting lipstick on a pig, right? And they're polishing. So the layman's eyes look and say, it looks great. Our guys are going in and almost without even the right proper tooling initially can tell you that material thickness is an issue and it needs to be replaced entirely.